Hi everybody, and welcome to the June Q&A video here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I'm Andrew Rhodes, your host. I know, different background again, different location this time, once again. Sorry if I both seem and sound a little weird. I bit my lip last night. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little swollen, so it's kind of bugging me, so I just sound a little weird. At least I seem like I'm talking a little weird, so just a heads up on that. And I just literally showered a little while ago, so there's that. I got my mic set up this time, so there shouldn't be any audio issues like last month where the bit of a high-pitched noise in the background because webcams suck. I'm also using webcam number 2. I said I was going to get a second one because I liked it, and I did. I liked that one. It's not the same one, sadly. That person jacked up the price. You rotten hell, you bastard. But I did manage to get another webcam anyway. What did I do with the... Oh, boxes in there. Okay, never mind. I don't know the boxes. All right. So, yeah, I got 12 questions to go through this month with everybody. Thank you all for submitting your questions. I do appreciate it, as always. So, without any further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay. So the first question we have here is, what are you going to do if The Barbarian and the Troll gets renewed for a second season? Nothing. I only literally got to watch one episode of it that Nickelodeon put up on YouTube for free. I've only seen clips of it since, and like I've said, it's a show that was way too good for Nickelodeon. I feel like this was Nickelodeon... This show was way too good for Nickelodeon. This is something that Nickelodeon should never have gotten their hands on, and I stand by that to this point. Unfortunately, if it gets a second season, I'm not... What would I do? I'm not going to jump up and down for joy. I'm not going to do cartwheels. It's a show. If it gets a second season, that's just par for the course. I really don't know how to answer that. I mean... All right. Well, that was an easy one. Okay. Next question. Why must all the streaming services manage to get some good programming while all of the traditional TV networks continue to get horrible programming? Because TV is dead. Cable is dead. Television itself, in the long run, and in the grand spectrum of things, is dead. 100%. It's history. It's done. It's finished. It's just too stupid to fall the fuck over. And the thing with that is that streaming services will get licenses. They can get the license for, like, okay, here's an old show. We can get this show. We can get the license for this stuff. But they have to pay for that license. Now, the free ones, of course, you're going to have ads. That's just as good as watching cable, only in this case, you get to pick the episode you want to watch. It's not they pick the episode you're going to watch. There are some streaming services that are literally like television. There's Pluto, which is a really good one. They have actual channels that is sort of like cable. Only in this case, it basically is cable. It's streaming cable, but it's free. You can watch it. There's commercials, there's ads, and that works out really well. But you have like Crackle, Tubi, Crunchyroll. Streaming services are just going to get the better stuff because they can get it to the audience a lot faster. Regular television can't do that anymore. Most of the cable packages nowadays are literally sports channels, and sports channels. That's all you get. And somebody had once made a comment that if you would remove all the sports channels from a cable package, it would literally be under $100 a month. Hell, it wouldn't even break 50. But it's the sports channels that they're forcing on you that causes that price to go up. That's why people were ditching cable. Plus, it's astronomically high. Nobody really wants to watch it, and you can't always get the stuff that you want to watch. You're getting the reruns that the stations and the networks are putting out. Streaming services, you can watch the episode that you want to watch. Like, let's say, oh, I didn't like this episode. I don't want to watch this one. So instead of watching that episode, you can watch the one before it or the one after it, or you can watch 6 episodes down the road from it. You don't have to watch that exact one, which a lot of networks won't let you do. So as far as why they're getting the better programming. It's because they have the audience that's willing to pay for it. And the ones that are just doing it for free, they're willing to just sit there and do it for free and sit through the ads because they can watch what they want to watch. They don't have to be tethered to, oh, here, I don't want to watch this episode, but I want to watch this one. It's that simple. If Nickelodeon isn't paying attention to the fact that 2 or 3 episodes of SpongeBob are being eliminated from the programming schedule, then what makes everybody think that SpongeBob is ever going to go away? Shows often do this. This is a fact of life. There are some episodes of shows that will end up getting banned or have to be removed for controversial reasons or stuff like that. 2 or 3 episodes of a series that's been on for 20 fucking years is a drop in, that is literally a drop in the bucket. They're just like, 2-3 episodes, who cares? I mean, it could just be like, they could have just gotten pulled because, let's say an actor had an issue with it. Like, let's say it had a special guest star, but now that guest star had a controversy thrown onto it, so now that episode can no longer air anymore. Or you have, sorry, I got a piece of hair in my eye there. Or you have an episode that offended somebody, caused a massive uproar. Now that episode has to get pulled. The thing is, you're talking 1, 2, or 3 episodes out of a massive series that's like 20 years old. They're not going to give a rat's ass because, in all honesty, they don't care. It's 2 or 3 episodes of a whole freaking series. If it would be, here's, 1 episode, or it'd be like 50 episodes. 50 episodes, that would be something to take attention to. 1, 2, 3 episodes, it's a drop in the bucket because there's a margin of error that you're allowed to have with shows like this, especially ones that have been on for so damn long. Is it ever going to go away? I don't know. I don't know what makes people think that it's is ever going to go away, but the thing, just because they're eliminating certain episodes, that doesn't mean that the show's dead. It just means that, okay, look, this episode may have had some controversy. This episode may be a little offensive. Or certain, recent events might cause them to, hey, not going to have this one. This happened, after 9/11. There was a couple anime series that were airing at the time that were pulled off the air because they were afraid it might, cause some PTSD with people, and that's understandable. I know Gundam was one of them. I know some Power Ranger stuff was kind of yanked for a little bit because it was mostly because, the buildings were getting destroyed, stuff like that. They didn't want to cause PTSD to suddenly start kicking in and get the angry mob of people, showing up at the front door of the studio, the network, and all that other stuff. So it makes sense. But when shows ditch 1, 2, or 3 episodes, or if it's a certain amount of episodes, it's usually for a good reason. Either there's something in there that they don't have the license for anymore, like, the actor that did the voice can't be in it anymore. They're no longer under contract or license with us. We don't want to pay them the royalty anymore, so we yanked the episode. Now we don't have to pay them the royalty. The episode will still come out on, if it's a box set of a DVD or something, but in the long run, the episode's done. It won't air on television anymore. If you still have it, if you recorded it and you have it on, a DVD, VHS or something, back in the 90s, you still have a copy of it, so a copy of it still exists, but they can't, come after you and say, hey, you can't, ever watch this again. I mean, you can't distribute it and go, here, this is a lost episode, because they'll bust your ass for copyright, illegal sale. That's kind of what gets a lot of people, the bootlegs and stuff like that. But yeah, 1 or 2 episodes, even 2 or 3 episodes, that's a drop in the bucket. I mean, there's a couple episodes of Sesame Street that got yanked when it was still on PBS because certain topics in it were deemed a little too dark for the moment, and then they were put back up then later on. And there's a couple shows that also had episodes yanked off that found their way online because at some point somebody will put it up online and people will see it. So it's not like it's gone forever. It's just gone off of the air, and it's a drop in the bucket in the show that's X amount of episodes. I mean, when you hit 100 episodes, you get syndication. And anything, if you like go up to 110 episodes, you lose like 3 episodes, you're still up 107 episodes out of the 110 that you made. They're not going to care. So, are you mentally prepared to watch every episode of SpongeBob for the video that you might make if one half of the challenge is completed? No, not one half of the challenge. The whole challenge has to be completed. It's 10 million views, 5 million likes, and I know it's never going to happen. Am I mentally prepared? Hell no. Hell no. Mostly, I don't have to watch every single episode because, as I've said multiple times, Sun Tzu is a very good student, by the way. Know thy enemy. I pretty much know almost everything there is to know about the little yellow bastard, so I'm pretty good on that. But mentally prepared, no. Oh my God, no way. I'm not prepared. Yeah, no, not. Nowhere near. Let's see here. When will people understand that not every TV show will be brilliant? I don't know. When will everybody realize that you're never going to have normal again? There's a counter question there. It's basically every person thinks that everything they touch is brilliant. It's that whole mentality of, well, I created this thing. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever done. And somebody critiques your work, and you either accept the critiquing as, okay, I can make this better, or they're full of shit. There you go. That's literally what it is. And 90% of the time, it's people just don't want to admit that, oh, yeah, no, I will admit this show kind of sucked. It wasn't the world's greatest. It did kind of blow and stuff like that. But the problem is, especially with a lot of shows that come out, people will make it. They'll say this is the best thing they ever want. They'll have that false sense of confidence, and they'll like push their belief onto others that, you need to watch this. No. Oh no, I did this in like a retro style animation. I made this plot of this script exactly the way that I deem, that the children and the audience nowadays will want to watch it. And that creates the problem that in the long run, nobody really cares. It's just the fact that they themselves like it. You're going to have the 1 or 2% of people that are going to go, yeah, this is a good thing. But then you have the majority of the people that are like, okay, this isn't really that great. You really got to take this back to formula. And they just don't like taking critiquing. That's why you usually have multiple writers for shows. There's like one writer will do like this, one writer will do that. And it's like a collaboration. A majority of the time when it comes to other things, it's like one writer that'll do like the whole entire thing. But then like if that season tanks a little bit, but it was already greenlit for season 2, and it's like, look, we're just going to change up season 2 here a bit. They'll get a different writer in. A good example of this would be with Power Rangers. I can actually use that as an example. If you could tell the classic Power Rangers, which is basically just, take the stock footage from the Sentai series, add in the American actors, and shoot the damn thing and do that. The writing on that had to be really good to make sense for the stock footage they were using. Now, when Disney took over the rights for Power Rangers, and you could see, for me it's hard to kind of tell the exact moment when it started to decline. I kind of think it was Ninja Storm, but it might have been... Was it Wild Force? That was the one. Time Force after Wild Force. Time Force was before Wild Force. That was after Wild Force. No, that would have been her. That would have been Sam. That would have been Ninja Storm. Okay, never mind. I'm right. Yeah, for me it was Ninja Storm, because all of a sudden, was it Ninja Storm? Yeah, I think it was Ninja Storm. I think Ninja Storm was after. Wait, hold on. Mighty Morphin 2-3, Zeo Turbo in Space. Lost Galaxy. Ranger, Die Ranger, Kaka Ranger, O-Ranger, Turbo Car Ranger, Mega Ranger, Gingaman. Yeah, Go-Go 5, so that would have been Lightspeed Rescue because they had the crossover that pissed off some of the actors. Let's see here. Time Force, because then they had their crossover, which was a really good one. Time Force, then Wild Force. Yeah, it would have been Hurricane Ninja. So that would have been Ninja, or Ninja Storm. So yeah. Yeah, I was right. Huh, I did that in my head, too. Well, I was doing the Go Kaiser, song in my head, the ending theme. It's a good way to keep track of the Power Ranger seasons up to, well, that which will be nameless. But anyway, you could tell the difference in the writing when Disney took over completely versus, okay, Disney has the rights, but yet it's still holding the formula that we had. Once Disney took over completely, you could tell the massive shift in tone, the massive shift in just the overarching feeling that it had. And in all honesty, it just sucked. And you could tell it was just move the plot along, move the plot along, move the plot along. Occasionally, you would get suckered into it, and this is, I think, the place that a lot of people argue with Operation Overdrive. I won't deny this one. The plot does kind of fall apart in certain places. I won't deny that either. I mean, I still like Operation Overdrive for, like, the vehicles. The Zords were pretty cool in that one. The outfits were pretty cool in it. The Battleizer was badass. But, yeah, I'm not going to deny that when it comes to the plot, it does fall apart in places. So it does have that, okay, it's not a bad show, but at the same time, it's not a good show. It falls apart. And then when Saban took back over, I still stand by when it came to Samurai, Nickelodeon was like, here, we'll give you, this much time, and then yank that rug out from underneath them. And then that's why we had, Samurai was just, okay, look, we need to come up with a plot quickly, just copy and paste the goddamn Sentai. We don't have a choice in this one. And we'll try to put a little more focus on, Megaforce and Super Megaforce, both of which sucked. You know my standing on that. I think for Disney, one of the last good seasons that they had was RPM. RPM was actually a really well-written season, especially for what it was. That was based off of Go Onger, which was a really interesting series in itself. If you ever actually get a chance to watch that one, Disney didn't do a bad job of adapting that one. In fact, I kind of think if they would have put a little more effort into ones like that when they had gotten, the franchise in the first damn place, it probably would have turned out a lot better than it did. But of course, Disney is Disney, and Disney will fuck you. So, yeah, there is that. But otherwise, that's sort of the deal. Everybody thinks that what they touch is brilliant. So, like, when Saban had Power Rangers before, we all thought it was brilliant. Then when Disney took it, Disney thought that they were coming out with the greatest show in the world, that they could, do what Saban did, but they couldn't. But they thought they did. So, like, oh, this is brilliant, and it wasn't. And then when Saban took it back over, because we had already had the sour taste of Disney in our mouths, even though it was helmed back by the original, ones in charge, it didn't hold its muster. At least not until Dino Charge. Dino Charge did bring it back, but of course then Saban gave up the rights to Hasbro, and there you go. And it gets a little difficult then. You can't do the Go Kaiser song after Super Megaforce because of how they did the show. Thanks, Saban. I'll remember that. But yeah. And it seems like the same reasoning for like cartoons and things like that. That's why and a better example would be if I want to give you like an example for cartoons. Take a look at some of the reboots, like the old school Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go. The old school Teen Titans was a dark, drama-centric bit of comedy thrown in to break up the tension, but it definitely held its weight. You were sucked into the story. There was no dull moment in that series. Teen Titans Go, fart jokes, stupidity, idiocy, because that's what they think the audience wants. You have Thundercats. I'm going to go with the 2011 Thundercats because I honestly think that if you want to make a reboot, that was the way to do it. It wasn't it wasn't like, an exact copy of the 1980s version. It was its own version. It had its own plot. It had its own centric villain to it. Well, okay, it still had Mumra, but it had its own, centric way of how Mumra was portrayed. Mumra wasn't just this being on, Earth, and the Thundercats were from Thundera. Mumra was part of the damn planet. Mumra was there from the beginning. That was the whole deal, and that's what made it so good. Then you have Thundercats Roar. That just slapped everything in the face that Thundercats was. But of course, and what pisses me off with that is that the creator even said, I was a huge fan of Thundercats, and then made this going, this is the best Thundercats you're ever going to watch. And it's not. It doesn't even crack the top 10. It doesn't even make it into the top 5. Why do you think it got canceled? Thank you. It got canceled. So, yeah. But that's why everybody thinks that whatever they make is brilliant. I mean, authors, people that make like food. Look at restaurants. Look at some of like the restaurant shows. I know a lot of people will go, "Oh, those things are faked," but the thing is, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna go, "I can make a pizza better than you," and like, this is the world's best pizza. This is the world's best pizza. How do you know it's the world's best pizza if the world hasn't told you it's the best pizza? Because the best pizza to one person might not be yours. It might be a frozen pizza. It could be one that they make themselves because it's made by them the way they want it made. So you can't exactly say it's the world's best pizza if you have nothing to back that claim up. But yeah, that's what it is. Everybody thinks that what they make is so damn good. No one will ever, not think that, because that's how their minds are working. This is the best thing I've ever done. This is the best thing ever. It's not. Somebody else will do it better than you. They just don't want to admit it. Who's your favorite Sailor Moon character? Jupiter. Seriously? Sailor Jupiter is my favorite Sailor Moon character. Sailor Moon is too annoying. Sailor Venus is too stuck up, boy crazy. I'd be afraid she would cheat on my ass. Mercury always has her head in the book. Mars is too prideful, so that was an instant turn-off for me. Uranus and Neptune are already lovers, because that was the whole deal with that. Yes, there was a thing with that. And I always considered them as like, look, these two are, they're lovers. That's fine. I have no issue with that. Pluto is off on her own little thing, and I never saw much of the sub-Sailor characters, but Jupiter's my favorite. No, screw Saturn. Jupiter's my favorite. Because she's down to earth, she's caring, she actually is considerate, and she's like the level-headed one out of that entire fucking group. So, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, Jupiter. Jupiter's my favorite character. The rest of them, Jupiter's my favorite character. Did you used to play on the swings as a kid? Yes. We had one in our backyard. We actually still have the frame for it. It was like this big wooden swing. It did break. It was really chintzy wood. The chains were starting to rust away, and it finally broke off the one day. It's like, okay, yep, that's it. It's done. I think my mom and I are actually sitting on it when it broke. It wasn't that high up off the ground, so it's like, boom, we just went right down to the ground. So it's not like we got hurt or anything. It's just like, the chain just finally gave way, and it's like, yeah, fuck it. We still have the frame for it. But yeah, I have played on swings. We had some at the elementary school I went to, because we had to be careful with them. I got yelled at the one time for banging them together by the gym teacher. And it's like, okay, yeah, I got yelled at by it, so I got yelled at by her for it, so there was that. But yeah, I have played on swings as a kid. I did. Have you ever heard about the Lost Media Wiki? If so, what types of lost media would you like to see found down the road? There's a wiki for everything, so as I've never actually heard of the Lost Media Wiki, I'm sure one existed. There's a wiki for everything. There's a webcam wiki. There's a microphone wiki. There's a laptop wiki. There's a wiki for every single thing you could ever imagine. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh wiki, a Teletubbies wiki, a Barney wiki. There's a SpongeBob wiki. There's a wiki for shoes. There's a wiki for underwear. There is a wiki for the aglets that are at the tips of your shoelaces. There is a wiki for everything. thing. That being said, I wouldn't really know much about the lost media. There's like a lot of like lost episodes, but they're slowly finding their way online. Like people have them, or they track down, like if it's like an anime or something, they track down the Japanese version, and while they didn't want to like dub it over, it's like, here's the episode that was banned in the U.S. This is the actual episode. Watch it and enjoy. I know Pokemon's got a slew of banned episodes. One of which was released, heavily butchered, and I mean heavily butchered, but it was released for what should have been like a 20-minute anime episode. It was more like 10 minutes. They literally destroyed 10 minutes worth of it just to release it to the U.S. audience. So that was fun. But there's a lot of lost media out there. Would I like to see a majority of it? Yes. Would I have like any particular ones that I'd like to see? I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't know. Because the majority of the stuff that I remember as a kid, I have. But as far as like lost media itself, I wouldn't really know exactly what would be considered lost media, what isn't lost media, what would be, here, not here. I don't know. So there is that. But either way, as much as I didn't know that it existed, I'm almost certain that there was a lost media wiki. There's a refrigerator wiki, for God's sake. There's a pizza wiki. I do know the pizza wiki exists. I do know the pizza wiki. See, the pizza wiki exists. So does the alien one. And the time travel wiki. At least I think it does. Well, it existed in my time. You didn't hear that. Let's see. Here we go. Would you like to see the Power Rangers / Ninja Turtles crossover comic adapted into an animated film? No. And I want to say no because the last time the Power Rangers and the Turtles crossed over, that was made in any form outside of the comic, was the god-awful In Space one. And for those of you that don't know what that was, Google it. For starters, because you're never going to believe it. But back in the 90s, because In Space was back in the 90s, early 2000s. Let's just play it safe. Fox Kids had a Ninja Turtles live action series, 13 episodes, 2 of which were clip shows. It was god awful. It introduced us to the first female Ninja Turtle. I think her name was like Laura or something. I don't remember what her name was, but she was introduced, and she was the 5th Ninja Turtle, because then we know about Solario the quadriplegic if you watched Crayon Shin-Chan. But we were introduced to her in that series, and in Power Rangers in Space, I want to say like episode 5, give or take. It was like within the first 10 episodes. Definitely past episodes 1 and 2 and episode 3. I think it was like episode 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there, but it's past the first 3 episodes at least. Astronema decides to send a beam down into New York City, pulls out the Ninja Turtles, and tells them that you now work for me. And their mission was to destroy the Power Rangers. And it was literally Fox's way of jamming the two shows together, because the Ninja Turtle series was starting to tank badly. I barely watched it as a kid. I couldn't stomach the live-action thing. I loved the live-action movies. I just could not stomach this series. It was god-awful. The plot just... I couldn't follow it. It's like I just zoned through the episodes as a kid. I don't remember ever enjoying it. But they crossed them over with Power Rangers in Space, because all of a sudden you have TJ going, they're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the episode, even rewatching it now as an adult, when I was a kid, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm seeing the Ninja Turtles and the Power Rangers crossing over. And I did like the Ninja Turtles as a child, but I liked the cartoon Ninja Turtles and the live-action movie Ninja Turtles, not the live-action TV show Ninja Turtles. Then you have the whole, oh, look, it's the Power Rangers in Space. So the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles, they're crossing over. And it's what you'd expect to be something epic and monumental, was garbage. It just, honestly, it was a waste of effort, and it's forever in history of media because you can watch it in Power Rangers in Space. If you own the season of that on DVD, it's in there. It's part of the history of it. I hope somebody got fired for that. I really do. I know that the Ninja Turtles are crossed over with Batman, but as far as, I was aware that there was another crossover comic. I didn't read it, but I had heard it through the grapevine of Twitter. As far as me wanting it adapted into an animated film, hell no. Please, no. Just, no. If they want to cross over in comics, that's fine. Do not cross them over in any animated form that moves and talks. If they're in comic form, that's fine. Because it's comics. Comics can take the liberties. They can make crossovers happen between two totally different things. That's fine. Don't animate it. No, I don't want it animated in any way, shape, or form. So that's that. Please no. Is there a fighting game you want to see get made? Oh, yes. There's a anime I watched called Robotics Notes. And the main character in there plays this MMO game called Kill Ballad. It's basically, if you ever watch the anime, the game is based off of the anime within the anime called Gunveral. And Gunveral was this sort of popular show. The main character and the girl that they kind of like each other, they watch the series together. The final episodes were never released. At least the final episode was never released. And then we find out in the series why, because what the episode was going to be. The creator of Kill Ballad turns out to be a really super genius programmer, and she's using this to try to find a way to reconnect with her mother, who was in charge of the Gunveral anime. But her mother mysteriously disappeared, and there was a problem. The problem being that the series itself was going to end on such a tragic note, and it caused a massive amount of controversy, and some other stuff happened, all of it tying into the plot that was going on. But if you ever see Robotics Notes, if you ever looked up Kill Ballad, it basically looks like, and I want to stress this, it looks like a really cool version of Custom Robo, but a lot better. I was kind of thinking like Custom Robo Arena for the DS, but it kind of looks like a combination of the original Custom Robo Arena, and sort of like something else mixed together, and that's what you get. I would love to see that made. We've gotten close to it. There were a couple mobile games that were pretty close to it. One of them was, I played it. Because I can't play it anymore because it's not compatible with my tablet. Gears something or other. It was really cool. You can customize your robot a little bit, you battle out in this arena. I got my ass handed to me half a dozen times. One time I glitched right through the frickin' arena, and Exogears, that's what it was. Or Exogear 2, I think. Either way, that's about, if I remember it right, that's what it was called. And I played that back when I had my first tablet. And I loved this game. I thought this game was really cool, but I couldn't play it anymore. My other tablets were not compatible. After my first one died, my other tablets were not compatible with it, so I can't play it anymore. I'd love to, but it's not compatible anymore. There's been a couple of others that were kind of close, but that's like the real fighting type game. I would love to see like a robot one, sort of like Kill Ballad made. That would be pretty cool for me. Otherwise, fighting game-wise, they're all basically a dime a dozen. It's just input character here. Do you want like a 2D one, 3D one? Do you want something similar to like Jump Force? Do you want something akin to Dragon Ball FighterZ? That kind of like throws it to what it is. So, yeah, there's a lot I would love to see made. I'd personally like to see a lot. But yeah, you get what you get. But no, Kill Ballad though, I would definitely love to see that get made. I would love to see that become a game. I really would. And if it already is, somebody let me know. I'd love to play that. That would be kick-ass, provided my tablet can play it. Want to see a Smash Brothers-like game with characters from Nickelodeon. They already had that. Yeah, actually, I remember there being a Smash Brothers-like game with Nickelodeon characters. Because it was out for the longest time. It was like, I'm gonna look that up. Hold on. That one I'm gonna look up quick. Hold on, I gotta reconnect myself to the net here. Come on, while I'm young. Okay. There was one that was out for, I think it was like the GameCube at the time. I think it was a GameCube. And it was, because you had like SpongeBob. I know Danny Phantom was in it. Jimmy Neutron. God, I remember it existed, but I can't think what the name of it was. But I remember there was one that was out. It was sort of like a Smash thing in a way. Provided it loads up here. Okay, here we go. No, not plug and play. That's not what I want. Category Nickelodeon video games. Come on, Wikipedia, don't fail me now. Adventures, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Rocket Power. Attack the Power Juju. No, that's not it. No. Dude, no, not correct. Oh, was it Party? Wait, was it the Party Blast one? No, that's not it. Battle for Volcano, is that it? You get like Attack of the Toy Bots, Battle for Volcano Island, Freeze Frame Frenzy. But yeah, I think the one I was thinking of was Battle for Volcano Island. I thought that was sort of like a Smash Brothers like deal. Or was that an RPG? I think so. It wasn't an RPG. I think it was an RPG. Well, it didn't do very well. That's for damn sure. Okay, I guess this is more of an RPG. Yeah, okay, I guess it was more of an RPG, but yeah, it's, if it's something similar to that, then God, no. In all honesty, you'd have to be careful now with the Nickelodeon characters, because I know somebody did like a parody of the Space Jam, a new Legacy trailer, and they had Nickelodeon characters. The thing is, you got to be careful with that because you can't have a lot of the 90s Nickelodeon characters in because Nickelodeon doesn't have the rights to a lot of them anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't have the rights to Ren and Stimpy anymore. I know they don't have the rights to Doug because Disney got Doug. I remember Disney getting Doug because then it was branded Disney's Doug. They literally just shoved their name right on top of it, like Disney's Doug. It's like, it's ours now. It's ours. Yeah. Would I be interested in a game like it? Yeah, but in the same aspect, I could see Nintendo suing, saying that, oh, well, you just stole our, this was our property. You stole our property. You stole our intellectual rights, blah, 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 and that would not end well, so no. Yes, but at the same time, no. Yes, I would like to see something like that. I think we kind of already had something like that. But no, because I don't want to hear Nintendo crying like a baby. So, no. All right. Holy crap, we're up to the last question already. Damn, wow, up to the last question. Do you agree that the 2010s was not kind to Power Rangers? Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God, yes. Oh, Lord, yes. It was not kind. Not in the least was it kind to Power Rangers. 2010s, as I know, it ended originally. Power Rangers did technically end after RPM. RPM ended, I think it was 2009. Because I remember recording the last episode because it was the 26th of December, and I recorded it. It ended on a good note. I liked how it ended. But then, because Disney still had the license yet for it, they re-released parts of the first season, the very first season of Mighty Morphin, with just like some Batman-esque graphics on it, which never, ever fucking do that again. I put that out there to any creator out there in charge of a television series. Don't you ever do what Disney did with that. Ever. Don't ever fucking do that. But, yeah, so Disney did that. And when it came back, like I said, I still think when Saban bought the rights back from Disney, when they got the rights back, like, look, you fucked this up enough. I'm back, it's mine, and it just, like, took Power Rangers, like, did it hurt you? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll take care of it. It's okay. When Saban went to Nickelodeon, it's like, look, I want to bring Power Rangers on here, because Fox Kids no longer existed by the time Saban got the rights back. Fox was done having children's programming, aside from educational stuff, which is what killed Saturday morning cartoons, because everybody went educational, because when Vortex was the last and final Saturday morning cartoon programming block on the CW, when that ended, that was it. And I was there for the last day, and it was horrible. I didn't see what happened with the staff, but I mean, I wasn't at this exact network or anything, but I watched it at home. The last thing, it just felt like this is the end of an era. Goodbye Saturday morning cartoons. And because there was no block that they could put it on, because Power Rangers succeeded really well on a Saturday block. And when Disney got it, they moved it to Mondays. And it worked well, I want to say, for 2 seasons on a Monday. I know Jungle Fury worked really well on a Monday, because I always remembered to watch it on a Monday. It was the thing that I looked forward to. After that, no, not really, no. Because then they moved it over to their Saturday ABC Kids programming block, shoved it on at noon, and because it always got interrupted by something else. It's always like, oh, well, look, Power Rangers on at 12 o'clock. And then one day it's like, we're going to put the Proud Family on instead. Fuck Power Rangers. Or, we're going to put this on instead. Fuck Power Rangers. And Disney was just never adamant with the license of it. So then when Saban got it back, and it's like shipping it around, I remember when they announced that Samurai is going to be coming to Nickelodeon, I'm like, oh my God, we're getting Power Rangers again. I was excited about it. Because my mom was still working at the elementary school yet, and some of the kids were talking about Power Rangers, and she had made a comment that, oh, well, what do you know about the Power Rangers? Like, well, do you know the colors? Do you know some of the characters from the old series? And just like that, they're like, crap, she knows about Power Rangers. Well, yeah, because her son's a fucking fan of the Power Rangers. I was a humongous Power Rangers nut for the longest time. I mean, I could tell you where the final part of the original cast ended. If you want to go, the ones that were there from episode 1, the finale would have been in space with Bulk and Skull. But if you want to go one step further, Lost Galaxy with Bulk being there for the last time when they got to Miranoi. There you go. Yay! But yeah, so there was that. But as far as, here, let's throw some other shows in. Man, not so much. But as far as the 2010s are concerned, I give Samurai a pass. When I first watched it, I enjoyed it. I still kind of do. Yes, after seeing the Sentai version, I do think it was just a copy and paste job. I do think that. But the thing is, it was a copy and paste that they had no choice in. I kind of feel like Nickelodeon kind of hogtied Saban and said, hey, remember when we said we would give you 6 months to a year? You got a month. Make it happen. And Saban was like, shit. I kind of feel like that's what happened. And as far as Megaforce and Super Megaforce are concerned, both of those were fucking garbage. Wholehearted garbage. Hot fucking garbage. Dino Charge wasn't bad when it started, though, because Nickelodeon's stupidity forced them to split seasons in half. So you could only have X amount of episodes per season. That's why we got Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge, because they had to split the series up, thanks to Nickelodeon's arbitrary bullshit. And that hurt it a lot, because you take down Sledge in Dino Charge, and it's like, oh cool, they took down the villain, but we're not going to investigate to make sure that the villain's actually dead. Mistake 101. Actually check to make sure the villain's dead. What was the last one that aired? I know we had Dino Charge, we had Dino Supercharge. I think it was. Did it go right to Beast Morphers then? No, Beast Morphers was. Oh no, it went to Ninja Steel. That's right. Then it went to Ninja Steel. Yeah, because at this point, because it was mostly Saban had jumped the shark, because what usually happened was we'll go series that, in order from the Sentai, but they skipped over Go Busters at the time, which would have been the next one after Go Kaiser, and they went for Koruger, which was Dino Charge. Skipped over Tokuger, which was a really good one, and I think they could have adapted that. They really should have had to put their head to the task and really do it, but no, fuck it. It's trains. Yeah, the 2010s was not kind of Power Rangers. It tried. I will give it that. It tried. But it wasn't kind of Power Rangers. It tried its damnedest, but it just wasn't kind of Power Rangers. When Hasbro took over the rights, Beast Morphers started weak as shit. Even I had some complaints about it. I'd seen some clips, and I was shaking my head. Now I will give Hasbro credit where credit is due. They did pull their heads out of their ass on it. I will give them credit on that. They did pull their heads out of their ass when it came to fixing it. But as far as it originally starting, that was hot, smoldering garbage. And they knew. There was no way they didn't know. They knew. They fucking knew. It was hot, smoldering garbage. But of course, Hasbro, Nickelodeon, they weren't going to give it up. And since the contract is now up with Nickelodeon, and that's why they're going to Netflix, God help them. Hey, Zordon, help them. May the power protect them, because Netflix sure ain't going to help them. Oh my God, Netflix is not going to help them. No, Netflix is not going to help them. But yeah, for the most part, I will say it tried to be kind to them, but it wasn't kind. It tried. The 2010s just looked at it like, look, we'll try to be nice to you. Okay, we got a lot of shit going on with us as it is. We'll try. And to their credit, they tried. They failed, but they tried. That's all they could say. But yeah, that's the last question. All right, this is going to wrap up this Q&A then, huh? Wow. I still managed to make it about an hour, even though I only 12. Well, I really dragged it out, but okay. July. I know you're all like, Andrew, when's the next one? Give me a minute here, please. Thank you. Let's see. Actually, it ends an entire month this time. Well, how about this? have all your questions in by the 27th, 12 a.m. Eastern Time in July. That's right, July 27th, 12 a.m. EST, and I will record again. Maybe it'll be a different background. Maybe it'll be a different spot again. Maybe I'll do it back in my room. Maybe it won't be so hot and I can do it in my room again. What am I spoken? What am I on? Anyway, though, folks, thank you for tuning in for this month's Q&A video. Until next time, I'm Andrew Rose. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube bullshit that every creator asks you to do. Don't forget, you can also now check me out on Ko-fi. I did start a Ko-fi page. I don't know why, but I don't know why, but I did. But I don't know why, but I did. I did. You can check me out on Ko-fi. You can donate if you want to. You don't have to, but you can donate if you want to on Ko-fi. It's Ko-fi. You can find a link for that in the About Me page. No, seriously, you can find a link in the About Me page for it. So, Amy, let's get on your trees. Let's get on your trees. Sorry for the nightmare fuel, folks, but I'll catch you next time here on the next Q&A video. Catch you later.